Hi friends, today we are going to do the PT Read Aloud full video course in which I'll be explaining everything you need to know about the PT Read Aloud task. Read Aloud is the first task in your PT test and also the first task in the speaking test, which contributes heavily towards your speaking and reading score. Also, since it's the first task of your test, it's really important that you ace this task without any mistakes and with full confidence so that you set the tone for the remaining part of the test. If your first task of the test goes bad, you can imagine that it will lead you to be a bit depressed and your confidence levels might go down. So we have to be really positive and really have to ace this task to get a pretty good score. Now, as the name suggests, what happens is that you get a passage on your screen and you have to read it exactly what it's written. That's why it's called Read Aloud. And since you read and speak at the same time, you get points for speaking and reading both. Generally, there are 5 to 6 questions or maybe maximum 7 questions for this task. For each question, you're graded on 3 things. First is your fluency while you speak, second is your pronunciation, and third is your content. Content score goes to reading, fluency and pronunciation scores generally go towards your speaking scores. Approximately, for these 6 to 7 questions, you get about 20 to 22 points in your speaking and reading scores, which makes it a really important task, not only for your speaking scores, but also for your reading scores. Now, there are many common mistakes which a lot of people make. So I'm just going to list down one by one all these mistakes and what you can do to avoid these in the real exam. The first very common mistake is the mistake of omission. Omission means you just skip a word or omit a word. These can be small words like a, an, the, but believe me, they will have an impact on your scores. So try not to omit any words. The other common mistake is addition, means adding extra words which are not in the script. That again will reduce your score. The third very common mistake is the mistake of correction or repetition. Whenever we make a mistake, the first human tendency is to correct the word, right? Correct our mistakes. Now, believe me, this will reduce your scores a lot. So even if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Keep on speaking without worrying about it. What is done is done. You can't change it now. So just continue with the flow and don't correct or repeat the words. Another common mistake is when people are confused, they make sounds like So these are natural fillers, but they will also reduce the score. Don't do that. Next very important thing is the tone in which you speak. By tone, I mean how your voice goes up and down. Many times people speak as if they are trying to impress the software. Now the PT software works in this way that the better the clarity, the better the score. So try to speak in a flat tone with full confidence. Do not worry about making mistakes. Keep your voice flat and smooth like this. Another common mistake is speaking at the wrong speed, sometimes too slow or sometimes too fast. The speed at which I'm speaking right now is the correct speed with proper small pauses. This is the right speed at which you should also be speaking. Another common mistake is unnecessary pauses at every punctuation mark. You must take a small pause at a full stop. You don't need to pause at every comma. If it's a long sentence which has a comma, take a pause. But if the comma is after words like moreover or however in the beginning of a sentence, there is no need to take a pause. Another common mistake is people try to speak with a fake accent. There is no need to speak with an accent. You must speak with your natural accent. Try to open your jaws more. Another common mistake is people sound very underconfident because they are afraid. So try to speak confidently. That will improve and increase your scores a lot. And another thing is, most of the times, first-time test takers get distracted because everybody around them will also be speaking at the same time. So try to practice with some disturbance on in your background when you practice at home. You could keep some music on or YouTube or TV on in the background. That way your brain gets used to it. Another suggestion is try to practice wearing a headset which has a mic, because in the real exam, the headsets which you get are of a professional quality and they're very tight on the ears. So you might, it's a good idea that you should get used to that way of speaking. And one last suggestion, there are many portals, including our portal on our website, oneaustraliagroup.com, and there are many free portals as well where you can practice. Now, all these portals will give an AI scored feedback or a score. Now, remember, these scores may or may not be 100% accurate. So instead of, trusting these scores blindly, better to get some feedback from a trained tutor who actually has a score and a credible history of teaching thousands of students. We at A1 Australia Education Group have trained more than 30,000 students for different tests like PT, IELTS, and NAATI CCL. We provide online coaching worldwide, and we also provide face-to-face classes in Melbourne, Victoria. You can visit our website, oneaustraliagroup.com, and make sure you follow us, share, and comment on this video if you found it useful. I'm Malcolm. Thank you so much for viewing the video, and good luck with your PTE test. Thank you.